everybody, welcome to Learn with Steph. This is one of the videos as part of our Lessons in Law series. The focus is on OCR A Level Law, but it will be useful to anybody studying law. If you like the videos, please do subscribe and press the like button at the bottom. This is our second lesson on judicial precedent. In our first session, we looked at the meaning of judicial precedent and the terms stare decisis, ratio decidendi and obiter dicta, and the different types of precedent. In this lesson, we're going to be answering two questions. What is needed to allow judicial precedent to operate effectively? And what is the meaning of following, overruling, reversing and distinguishing? The operation of judicial precedent relies on two things. Good law reporting, because people need to know what the judgments are. Future judges need to know what the law is. Lawyers, when they are advising their clients, need to know the advice to give according to the most recent judgments. And UK court hierarchy. Why do you think it's so important that we have quite a strict court hierarchy in this country? We're going to explore the importance of the court hierarchy in our next lesson. First of all, let's have a look at law reports. So we know law reports are important so that people know what the judgments are. And of course, they need to be made really accurately, such as by the court clerk. And law reports collate and identify legal principles so that they are easily accessed. And you can find them in various places. For instance, the Times often publishes law reports, usually on a Tuesday, I believe. But you can also these days find them online at www.bailii.org. And when you look at a law report, you will often find it gives you lots of information, including where the case was held, such as it might say SC for the Supreme Court, and where it can be found. So how does judicial precedent operate in reality? Well, for this, we need to learn the acronym FOLD. Follow, overrule, reverse, distinguish. And you need to remember these terms. So judicial precedent works by following it, or overruling it, reversing it, or distinguishing it. So following. The whole principle of judicial precedent works on the idea of following. And we studied the idea of stare decisis, stand by what has been decided, in our first video. So the idea is that judges follow past decisions when their case is similar. And an example would be how Grant v Australian Knitting Mills followed the decision of Donoghue versus Stevenson. We explored these two cases in our first lesson on judicial precedent. Overruling is different to following because a court will hear a case and it will be a later case, but they will decide that the decision made in an earlier case was wrong. So they will overrule it. So the later case here is different to the earlier case. And a good example of this is RVG. Here, the House of Lords overruled Caldwell recklessness. So Caldwell had ruled that criminal recklessness should be judged objectively, but RVG ruled that that was not the case, that was wrong, that law was wrong, and recklessness should be judged subjectively. If you remember, in this case, the children set fire to wheelie bins, causing criminal damage. Reversing is different from overruling because this time the higher court overturns the decision of a lower court in the same case. So it will only happen when a case goes to an appeal. And a good example of this is Gillick. And this is a case you may have studied when you looked at consent in criminal law, paper 1. Here, the House of Lords reversed the Court of Appeal decision. Remember, this case was hypothetical. Mrs. Gillick wanted the court to rule whether or not the doctors could give her children contraceptive and sexual advice below the age of 16 without her being told or consulted or her consent. The House of Lords here reversed the Court of Appeal decision, saying that a doctor could provide contraception and sexual advice to an under 16-year-old without parental consent or knowledge. Then we've got distinguishing. This is a way a judge can avoid following precedent. And they do that by pointing out that some of the material facts of the present case are different. And the case example for this is Balfour versus Balfour, which was distinguished from Merritt versus Merritt. They both involved couples who had split up, but one couple had an agreement in writing and the other did not. And the judge felt that these material facts were sufficiently different to enable him to avoid following the decision made in Merritt versus Merritt. Have a go at this essay. Describe 2 ways in which a judge can avoid following precedent. It's a 10-mark essay, so you should only spend 10 minutes on it. And what I've tried to do is highlight 3 clear paragraphs for you. So use the hints on screen to write the essay. So now you should know all the things from the first lesson, plus following, overruling, reversing, and distinguishing. Next lesson will be looking more specifically at how the different courts use judicial precedent, use overruling, etc., in their operation of judicial precedent. That brings us to the end of this lesson in law. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like it and subscribe to find more videos. Bye.